Heya, this is Pokéball35, and welcome to a video where I talk about the Super Mario Bros. Movie, because I just got home, like 10 minutes ago as of this recording, from watching the Super Mario Bros. Movie on opening day. This is gonna be, I don't do review things, this is not something that I do. This is gonna be me just talking about the movie and the stuff that I liked about it, but it is gonna go into spoiler territory for the entire movie, because I want to talk about the entire movie, so I recommend you watch this video after you have watched the movie, or if you don't care, about everything that the movie has to offer, because that's what I'm going to be doing. I don't do review type things, and like I said, I'm just going to be going scene by scene in the movie from my brain, because I just watched it, and I'm just gonna talk about it. So, the first thing is that at the movie theater that I was at my local mall, they sell these tins, for the Mario movie to put popcorn in. I had some popcorn. Here's the bottom of the tin. Super Mario Bros. Movie, AMC theaters. It's cool. I now have this to not only put more popcorn in the future, but also to do other stuff. I'm also wearing my Luigi hat, and the Mario hat is here, because I like Luigi more than Mario all the time, and even though this is the Mario movie, I don't care. So, I'm just gonna be talking about the movie starting now. So, the movie begins, we saw the opening scene. I think it was like the first trailer we ever got, for the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Where Bowser's castle is, like, drifting toward the Penguin Kingdom. Like, that entire thing is pretty much, like, the exact same. There's obviously scenes they cut out for the trailer. But Bowser comes over, and all the troops come out, and Kamek goes, "The King of the Koopas!" And then Bowser comes down, and he goes, "Open the gates!" But in the movie, he actually says, "Open the gates! Or die!" There's a lot of the word "die" in this Mario movie. Which I just wasn't expecting it. Didn't think they'd let the Mario character say the word die or try to kill other people. But that's in the movie. And then the penguins come out, and the penguins do their penguin thing, and they throw the snowballs and all that stuff. And they go, "Do you yield?" And then Bowser goes, "I do not." And then he burns the whole castle to the ground. And then the whole thing is that the penguins were taking control of the Power Star, which I want to say at the start of the movie was called the Power Star, and then later in the movie it was called the Super Star. I don't know if my brain is playing tricks on me, but I could have sworn Bowser, in the very start when he picks up the star, calls it the Power Star, but then later in the movie he calls it the Super Star, and then everyone else from there on out calls it the Super Star. I don't know. But then it cuts from that scene, and then we get actual Mario and Luigi. It cuts to the commercial that was used to promote the movie, where they use the Super Mario Bros. Super Show theme of "We're the Mario Brothers, and plumbing's a game. We're not like the others who get all the fame. If your sick is in trouble, you can call us on the double. We're faster than the others, you'll be hooked on the brothers." And they do that thing. It's an extended version of that commercial. And Mario and Luigi are sitting at Punch-Out Pizzeria. There's a bunch of pictures of different people from Punch-Out. You can see, like, Glass Joe, and I think, Doc on the wall, probably. I know I saw Glass Joe for sure. And they're talking about the commercial, and the commercial is funny. They, like, use a lot of green screen. There's a moment where, like, Mario and Luigi, they're sitting on, like, bar stools, but they have, like, the bar stool's not even green screened out, but it's them, like, with like, the yellow Mario World cape, and they're, like, playing up the Mario accents. Chris Pratt as Mario and Charlie Day as Luigi. They're playing up the Italian accents for the commercial. And then the commercial ends, and then Mario's like, "Man, I'm so glad we spent all of our life savings on this commercial. It's so good." And Luigi's like, "Don't you think the accents are a little bit much?" And then a guy who looked just like Mario, who was actually voiced by Charles Martinet, goes, "Nah, it's a perfect! Woohoo!" And I think that's funny. They had Charles Martinet as the, as like a guest for the movie, and they had Chris Pratt do the Mario voice for the whole time, and by Mario voice, I mean he's just doing the voice, but I'll get to the voices in a moment. But that happens, and inside the pizzeria is Foreman Spike from Wrecking Crew. Spike is not really that much of a major character. He was announced to be in the movie from the start, but he's not really a major character. He's just there and makes fun of Mario and Luigi for being morons for leaving Wrecking Crew, and says that they're never gonna be anything. And then he's like, did you get any calls since you put up the commercial? And Luigi's like, as a matter of fact, I did get a call. It was from my mom, and she told me I did a very good job, thank you very much. And then he takes his phone and slams it on the table. And then throughout the entire movie, Luigi's phone just has massive amounts of cracks in it. And I actually have a story about that. A friend I had many years ago, we were chilling at my house, and I don't remember what she was saying, but she did, like, the same exact thing. She was like, she said something, and then just slammed her phone down. We were, not, like, at my house, but we were outside, and she just, like, slammed it on the concrete and just smashed her phone. So that's that story. But then Luigi does get a call from an actual client, and they go into the Mario Bros. Van, but the Mario Bros. Van needs a jump start. So instead of getting a jump start, they just run toward the building that they need to go to. And the whole scene is really well laid out. The music up to this point has been great, but like the music in this movie is incredible. It's just, this part is just like a simple, Mario Bros. 1 remix orchestrated thing, but Mario's all jumping around, and Luigi's like, oh, could you please slow down? I can't. But Mario's jumping all around. He makes shortcuts for Luigi. And at the very end, Mario slides down a flagpole next to I forget the name of the place, but it looked like the Mario Castle. I think it was like another pizza place or something. It's something like that. But he slides down the pole. It's cute. They get to the house, and the actual client is there. They actually want the Mario Brothers to work for them. They just need to fix a leaky sink. But Luigi accidentally steps on a dog bone from the owner's dog, and the dog is not happy at all. So the dog goes into the bathroom and then locks the door somehow, and just fucking just goes ham on the Mario Bros. He's not having any of it. The leak is unfixed. There's water everywhere. The sink's broken. The toilet's broken. The shower's getting flooded. And then eventually they fix it, and then it just cuts away. Mario's like, hey, we did it, and then, the entire bathroom's a wreck. But then it cuts to Mario's house, and, they're just, they're just people in Brooklyn, New York. And we get to see, the entire Mario family, Mario's mom, Mario's dad, Mario's presumably little brother, Mario and Luigi's little... They have a third brother? Doesn't have a name, doesn't have any speaking roles, but there is, in fact, a third brother in the household. I think they had, their grandma there as well. And they're just talking over dinner, and his dad has, no... Doesn't really, think before he speaks, so he makes fun of Mario, saying, you're bringing your brother down, stop doing the plumbing thing, go back to what you were doing, this isn't gonna work out. But then... Mario is sulking in the bedroom when a newscast comes on, and it's like, Brooklyn is flooding, there's a whole floody leak, and then Mario's like, this is our chance, Luigi, we're gonna go become famous. So he takes them out of the house, and they go into the sewers of Brooklyn to try and fix it, but a pipe bursts, and they just fall down, and they break through a wall, but then this whole wall reveals a completely, untouched part of Brooklyn sewers that they have never heard of, and that no one's ever seen in a very long time. Luigi finds the green pipe, gets sucked into it, Mario goes in after him, and they get split up. Luigi gets sent to Bowser's castle, Mario gets sent to around Peach's castle, and the whole scene from the other trailer kicks in, where Mario's looking around where he first gets to the Mushroom Kingdom. This movie is only 90 minutes long, so they have to try and condense a lot of stuff into this movie. So the pacing kind of goes really quick from here on out. Mario arrives in the Mushroom Kingdom and he sees Toad, and Toad yells at him. But then he's like, hey, my brother went to a dark spooky place. And Toad's like, he's gonna die if he goes to that dark spooky place. I'm gonna take you to the princess. And Mario just doesn't even question anything. He's just like, alright, this is what we're doing. I'm here now. This is what I'm doing. Along the way, they see some Bitty Buddies, and I have the other name of this enemy. It is called a Bramball from New Super Mario Bros. I think that was cute. They, like, see the other Mario enemies. They go to Peach's castle. And then, I believe from there, Luigi gets reintroduced into the Mushroom Kingdom. He's in a place called the Darklands. And I think it's really funny because he's holding the flashlight, and it's just, like, quietly saying, Mario, where are you? Nice Luigi's Mansion jokes. A bunch of dry bones. The whole boner squad pulls up out of the ground. And the boners are not having anything related to Luigi. He tries to run away and hide in a little dark, what seems to be abandoned castle. And there's a bunch of Shy Guys and Stiffets in there, and then he screams. Then it cuts back to Mario, and then we had this whole scene at the Game Awards of Mario going through the actual Toad Town, getting to the castle. That scene is, like, completely the exact same. Like, they just ripped that scene from the movie to have as a trailer. There's Toad guards outside of Peach's castle, and the Toads are like, or Mario's like, I need to go see the princess. And the Toad guards are like, what princess? The princess is in another castle. She's not in this castle. You gotta go to another one. And then the Toad, the protagonist Toad, is like, alright, I got this. He takes out a frying pan, and then he just starts cooking. He just starts cooking, distracts the guys. Mario walks into the castle. Throughout this whole movie, I don't need to be holding dry bones anymore, but he's still gonna be here. Right there. Throughout this whole movie, the music is fantastic. I'm gonna keep saying the music is fantastic. When Toad gets first introduced, it's playing like an orchestrated cover of the Captain Toad Treasure Tracker theme. And then throughout the whole Mushroom Kingdom scene, it's playing like a bunch of different orchestrated versions of different Mario themes, all in a big medley. It's fantastic. Mario goes into the castle, and then I believe it cuts to Bowser. And something that caught me off guard is when Bowser gets fully introduced and is talking to all of his minions. All the minions are there. But it's straight up playing, like, the attack theme from Bowser's Fury. I haven't played Bowser's Fury yet. I will be playing it on the channel sometime within the next few months. But straight up this song is just playing the entire time. Like, there's, like, a whole, like death metal band in Bowser's Castle, just playing the song, and Bowser's like, hey, I got this superstar, we're gonna go take over the Mushroom Kingdom, and Peach is gonna marry me! And then everyone's like, what do you mean? And then Bowser is like, yeah, I want Peach to marry me, she's so hot. TLDR, she's so hot, I want to marry the princess, and if she does not marry me, I will destroy the entire world with this superstar. So it's kind of going into the whole Bowser romance thing. It's, you know, in most Mario games, I wouldn't even say most Mario games, in some Mario games, namely Super Paper Mario, and obviously Mario Odyssey. I got the Mario Odyssey amiibo up here. Bowser wants to marry Peach, so that's the motivation. I don't know if that's always been Bowser's motivation, other than world domination, or just tri-state area domination of the whole Mushroom Kingdom or whatever. But that's that. Cuts back to Mario running through Peach's castle, and a bunch of Toads are talking to the princess of, like, Bowser is going to kill us, and Peach is like, I'm not going to let Bowser kill us. I'm gonna go get the Kongs to help us. And then the Toads are like, the Kongs will never help us. And she's like, I'm gonna get the Kongs to help us. And then she walks out the door and then sees Mario. And she gets, like, immediately infatuated with Mario. Because if you haven't noticed, every single person in the Mushroom Kingdom is, like, a mushroom guy, or, like, just some weird creature or turtle. There's no people in the Mushroom Kingdom, and that actually gets explained later. But Peach sees Mario, and she's like, oh my god, a human? You're coming with me. And that's the whole pacing Like, she sees Mario, and Mario's like, my brother Luigi, he's in Bowser's clutches. And Peach is like, I'm gonna go kick his ass soon. You want to come with me? And Mario's like, okay. And that's pretty much the whole thing. Is that, like, Peach sees Mario and is like, you're coming with me. That's the whole pacing. So then it cuts to another scene that was in a couple trailers of, like, the whole obstacle course that Mario has to go through. Mario has to prove himself to Peach that he is worthy enough to go save Luigi from Bowser. So he does. It's a whole training montage of Mario going through it. A plot point that I skipped is that back at Mario's house, they're having dinner. They're having spaghetti and mushrooms, and Mario's like, oh, I hate mushrooms. I don't want to eat that. And then when they get to the Mushroom Kingdom, Mario has to physically eat the super mushrooms to go big and strong to complete the obstacle course. So in the training montage, he's doing the whole thing. He keeps losing the power-ups and starting to start over, and eventually he starts, like, throwing up. He, like, does, like, a whole thing where he's, like, hanging over the side of a balcony, like, throwing up, and Peach is, like, patting his back because he's eating too many mushrooms and he hates mushrooms. Eventually, Mario almost does it, and then he dies because he's trying to impress Peach. Or not dies, but gets hurt trying to impress Peach. And then they have a whole thing of, like, I didn't make it. And Peach is like, you almost made it. No one does it first try. And Mario's like, you did it first try, didn't you? And she's like, oh yeah, I did it first try. But I was trying to make you feel better. Did it work? And he's like, yeah, sure. So from there, they're gonna go stop Bowser. Before anything else, there is a scene that happens, which is Bowser. There's a picture on Twitter or Instagram or something a few days ago, and it was of Jack Black next to, like, some sheet music. Jack Black, I don't think he's playing the piano, but Bowser is playing the piano and singing a song about how much he wants to marry Peach. And then Kamek shows up and he's like, sir, the mustachioed human is trying to woo the princess. And Bowser's like, I want the princess, you can't do that. And then slams the piano on Kamek and walks out. Then, from there, Peach and Mario were leaving to go on their journey, and they're just going. The Toads are like, who the hell's Mario? And Peach is like, he doesn't matter, we're leaving. And then they leave, and then the protagonist Toad from earlier, who Mario first saw, shows up, and he's like, I'm a brave Toad, I'm gonna help the princess. And then she's like, alright, you're coming with us, and that's the pacing. Then they go on their journey, and there's a couple really cool scenes in that journey. Like, there's the bridge that was in a trailer. They show Yoshi's Island, and that's it. Like, Yoshi's Island, there's, like, a whole stampede of Yoshis. The scene lasts, like, 5 seconds, and then it's gone. Which is unfortunate. Yoshi's nowhere in the movie. Other than that, those are where the Yoshis are. They actually cross Toast Arena as well. There's a whole bunch of, like, flying inverted pyramids in the desert. They go past Toast Arena from Mario Odyssey, which I thought was really cool. And then somewhere in there, there's a scene with Bowser. Luigi had gotten captured and goes to Bowser. And Bowser's interrogating Luigi of like, hey, do you know this guy? Luigi's like, no. And then he tries to pull out his mustache. He's like, yeah, I know this guy. And then Bowser's like, does he like, do the princesses like him? And then Luigi says, if they have good taste. And then they lock Luigi away in a dungeon. Cages hovering above a lava pit. There is the penguins from earlier are captured, and there's one singular Luma, which talks about how much it wants to die, which is fantastic. Peach and company, or Mario and company, whatever, they finally get to the dong jungle full of all the dongs, and they knock on a door, and there's a dong in there, and she's like, I want to go see the king. But then all of a sudden, in a crazy turn of events, all of the Kong family is in possession of, like, all the go-karts in the entire Mushroom Kingdom for some reason. So, the Kong pulls up with, like, a motorbike and a sidecar for Toad. And then Take On Me starts playing. So like how the Sonic movie had Gangster's Paradise. This movie has Take On Me. So they're driving around this massive like go-kart course in the dong jungle, full of all the dongs, and it's just playing Take On Me, and I'm just rocking out. I'm like, how is this what's happening right now? But they eventually get to Cranky Kong. And Cranky Kong's like, hey, you want to use my army? And Peach is like, yes, the Mushroom Kingdom's gonna be destroyed. And they're like, no, we're not gonna let you use our army. But then Mario is like, we're not leaving unless we have your army. And Cranky Kong's like, alright, fine, you can fight my son, Donkey Kong. Which is actually incorrect. Donkey Kong is Cranky Kong's grandson. Just pointing that out. They completely retconned DK Jr. out of existence. But Mario goes to fight Donkey Kong. And when Donkey Kong comes on screen, it plays the DK rap. And by the DK rap, I mean it just says DK, Donkey Kong, for like 30 seconds. And it's not the actual DK rap. But Diddy Kong has a mention, and you get to see Dixie Kong and Chunky Kong, who were all there in the crowd, of all the Kongs watching this gladiatorial battle. And Donkey Kong and Mario fight it out like in one of the trailers, and Donkey Kong slaps Mario around. Mario grabs a power-up, but it's a mini mushroom, and he turns really tiny, and from there, Donkey Kong beats him up even more. But then, when Donkey Kong launches him up into the air, Mario grabs another power-up, and it's the cat suit from 3D World. And with Mario's cat-like reflexes, he bests Donkey Kong. And then Cranky Kong's like, alright, fine, you can use our army. They have a battle plan of trying to cut off Bowser at a shortcut to sneak into his castle. Kamek makes Bowser aware of their plans, but Cranky Kong's like, we're gonna need carts. So the entire thing that happens here is the Kong family has this massive garage, and it plays an orchestrated remix of, let's see, I think it's this, Mario Kart 8 menu theme. I believe it's this song. If it's not this song, I think it's the one from Mario Kart 7. But it's... I'll do the Mario Kart 7 one. Single player menu. I think it's like a mixture of both of these. But they have a whole thing where they, you know, it has all the different car parts from Mario Kart 8, so they make their own go-karts, and it's Mario, Peach, Toad, the whole Kong family, driving down a road, and eventually they jump onto Rainbow Road, which was in a trailer, but then Bowser, ambushes, the Mario gang on Rainbow Road, and they have a whole fight sequence on Rainbow Road, and then Mario's about to die, but he bests them, and like jumps off of his cart onto DK's cart, and then DK shoots a barrel rocket at him, and the barrel rockets on DK's cart are the actual barrel rockets from Donkey Kong Country Returns, which is cool. And obviously, as they're on Rainbow Road, it's playing, you know, orchestrated Rainbow Road music and stuff, and it's super good. But then, like, the head Koopa of this army is the Blue Shell Koopa, and he's not having any of it, so he actually turns into his Blue Shell form, and goes and dive bombs Mario and Donkey Kong, and then they fall into the water. They're about to drown, but Mario saves Donkey Kong from drowning, and every single one of the Kongs, and Peach and Toad make it out alive, but all the Kongs get captured and sent to Bowser's castle, where Luigi is. Mario saves Donkey Kong from drowning, and then this movie doesn't have a fart joke in it, but it has kind of like a half fart joke in it, where at the bottom of the ocean is actually the Unagi eel, and then it's bubbling up from the water to the surface, and then the bubbles happen, and Mario's like, do you feel something? And that's kind of supposed to be a fart joke, like farting in the water, haha, bubbles and stuff, but it lasts like 2 seconds, and most people probably won't even notice it if they're not even trying to pay attention for fart jokes. But they get swallowed by the eel. They're in there. Peach and Toad head back to her castle to warn everybody to evacuate. And then Bowser floats his castle over to Peach's castle. And then pretty much kidnaps her. Bowser's about to torture all the Toads. And he's like, hey, marry me or the Toads die. And she's like, no, the Toads won't die. I'll marry you. And they go onto into Bowser's castle. Inside the eel, Donkey Kong and Mario are having an argument. Donkey Kong doesn't like Mario. They talk about how much their dads don't appreciate them. They both have daddy issues. Because Cranky Kong doesn't really make Donkey Kong feel good. Mario's dad doesn't make Mario feel good. They have a whole kind of half bonding thing, but Donkey Kong still hates Mario. But then they get to the realization that their cart was swallowed by the eel, and one of the barrel rockets is still attached, so they barrel rocket out of the eel and head toward Bowser's castle, which is now floating above Peach's castle. Everyone is coming together, the wedding is about to happen, and protagonist Toad shows up and sneaks a special power-up into Peach's bouquet. Sadly, Peach's bouquet is not of piranha plants. However, it was in a practice scene. There was another scene that happened. Bowser was fake proposing to Kamek dressed as Peach, which is a nice funny reference, because there's some references in the Mario and Luigi games of Kamek dressing up as Peach a couple times, so that's a nice reference. From there, people are getting their seats at the wedding, but what's really funny is that King Bob-omb and King Boo are there. There's no Boos in the entire movie. We just see Dry Bones. I know there's Dry Bones, there's Shy Guys, there's Koopas, there's Goombas, there's Spinies, there's Piranha Plants, there's Bullet Bills. I don't remember seeing any other Boos, unless I just somehow missed, it was a blink and you miss it thing, because they're invisible. But King Boo is there. But it's not the Luigi's Mansion King Boo, it's the Mario series King Boo, where it's just a Boo with a crown on its head, and that's it. But they're there. It's cool that they're there. Bowser is about to drop everybody into lava when Peach is like, I'm not gonna marry you, psych! And then, pulls out an ice flower from the bouquet and freezes Bowser and freezes the mechanism for dropping everyone in the water. And eventually, Mario and DK show up, they save Luigi, Mario and Luigi finally have their reunion. Throughout the whole thing, Donkey Kong and Mario went to Peach's castle, and they were fighting a bunch of things, so DK gets a fire flower, so we actually get to see DK with a power-up, and Mario gets a Tanuki suit. And they fly up toward Bowser's castle, save Luigi, everyone's happy until Bowser's like, Mario's gonna fuck my wife! And then he comes out of the ice and tries to blow up the whole castle by launching a bonsai bill out of the volcano on top of his lair. Which then is about to head toward Peach's castle, but Mario, smart man that he is, slaps the bonsai bill in the eye with a Tanuki tail. And eventually, it starts following him, and he eventually finds the pipe that he entered the Mushroom Kingdom from, sends the bonsai bill into the warp zone, and blows up the warp zone. And this part was not in any trailers or anything, so this was completely brand new. This is major spoilers now, because pretty much the entire, if you condensed all of the trailers from the movie that were shown into this, you would actually have the whole movie. There's a couple scenes here and there that weren't shown in trailers that were surprising to see because they weren't in trailers. I do feel like they showed too many trailers for this movie because there was a lot of stuff that I already knew about from watching the trailers. I didn't watch the final trailer that they had a whole Nintendo Direct for. I didn't watch that because I wanted to be surprised. But I just watched that before recording this and it shows the Rainbow Road scene. But the Warp Zone gets destroyed. And it sucks everybody into it. And then it actually pulls a move from the original Mario Brothers movie. Because I watched a video about the original Mario Brothers movie, and part of that movie is that King Koopa is trying to, merge their world and their world and the real world together. And that happens. Mario gets sent back to Brooklyn, Luigi gets sent back to Brooklyn, they see Spike, and then the entirety of Bowser's castle emerges from the sewers of Brooklyn. And then Bowser's there, Donkey Kong's there, Peach is there, and Toad is there. And they're all having a massive showdown inside Brooklyn, which is really freaking cool. But The star gets misplaced in all the chaos. Mario and Luigi team up, and they grab the star, and they beat the shit out of Bowser and all of his minions. And this whole fight scene happens, and it's really, really cool. And then, at the end of it all, he sees, Mario and Luigi see their parents, and they're so proud of them, and all that stuff. And they force feed a mini mushroom into Bowser, and they put Bowser in a jar. For anyone who knows about, putting little tiny things in a jar, I'm sorry that you know that. But that's pretty much the movie. It ends after that. They have the whole fight scene, and then Mario and Luigi, like, wake up the next day, or sometime later. But they're living in the Mushroom Kingdom now, and that's the whole movie. Like, I know, how long have I been rambling for? 30 minutes. I've only been rambling for 30 minutes. I thought I was rambling for more. But, like, because this movie is only 90 minutes, the pacing is so quick. Like I said, like, Mario just agrees to go with Toad. He doesn't even question where he is. It doesn't really matter, though. Peach sees Mario for the first time, and she's like, yup, you're coming with me, with nothing other than that, other than trying to prove himself. Like, making, Mario try to prove himself. And there's all the scenes in between that are really cool and funny. But, like, Luigi does nothing the entire movie, which is fine. He's meant to be the actual in distress character, because Peach is with Mario the whole time, so they have to go rescue Luigi. But, like, they skip past a lot of locations. Like, they skip past going through Toast Arena, that's a 5-second clip. Yoshi's Island is a 5-second clip. This bridge area is a 5-second clip. It just shows their journey. There's, like, one scene I didn't mention, which is, like, Mario and Peach, like, bonding at, like, a campfire. Completely skipped over that. That's actually an important scene. At that scene, Mario's like, where are you from? And Peach is like, I don't know where I'm from, actually. All I remember is that I came here. And there's a whole, like, I was just always here. And it's been confirmed from this movie. I don't know if this is going to be, like, full canon or not. But Peach is from Earth. She's the only human. She arrived from a warp pipe as a baby in the Mushroom Kingdom. The Toads took her in. She trained with the Toads and eventually became their ruler. That's the lore. That's the confirmed lore from this movie. Miyamoto had a direct hand in making this movie. So that might be the actual canon Peach lore of Peach being from Mario's world this entire time. So that's neat. The credits happen. The credits are fantastic. I almost cried during the credits because of how awesome the credits music was. There's no Mario Galaxy stuff in this movie other than Aluma, and Peach mentions the word Galaxy one time. But in the credits, it plays Gusty Garden Galaxy, and I actually almost started crying when Gusty Garden Galaxy played, because that song is always so emotional. But the credits go by, and they actually... What also got me emotional is that they credit Satoru Iwata as former Nintendo executive in the credits at the very end of the movie. Which makes me very happy. And then the regular credits happen, and in the credits, it shows all the music and stuff. Something that I heard drama about, which I did see for myself, is that since the DK rap is in the movie, it's credited as DK rap from Donkey Kong 64, not DK rap composed by Grant Kirkhope or anything like that. It just says Donkey Kong rap, Donkey Kong 64. I feel like Grant should have gotten his name in the credits, because I don't know if that's him singing that song, but he was the voice of Donkey Kong in DK64 as well. But he composed that song, so I feel like he should have been credited, not just DK rap from DK64. But then the actual post-credit scene happens. There's a real post-credit scene, and it's going through the sewers of Brooklyn, and right next to the warp pipe is one lone Yoshi egg, and it starts to crack, and that's the scene. So possible Super Mario Bros. Movie 2, possibly themed around Super Mario World or other things, would be really awesome. It wouldn't be the Yoshi's Island origin story of, you know, Mario being a baby and Yoshi carrying him. However, they could time loop it. They could time loop it of Mario always coming to the Mushroom Kingdom at the beginning, Yoshi saving him and Luigi, and then they get sent back home to Brooklyn, and they just don't have any real memory of that because they were literal toddlers of like 1 to 2 years old, and they just think that is a distant memory of just like a weird dream they had when they were a baby or something. That could be a thing. I don't know. But overall, I am thoroughly impressed with the Super Mario Bros. Movie. I'll say it again, the music had me stunned throughout the whole thing, aside from Take On Me. The other thing, when they were building the carts, this was so fucking funny. When they were building the carts, Thunderstruck starts playing, and I started cracking up because I can't stop thinking about fucking Vinny Vinesauce. Vinny Vinesauce. Rolling Thunder. Is it somewhere in this clip?
Did you see that?
No. Wait.
Fucking cream.
This is just him laughing. But there's a whole thing, there's a whole bit he likes to do of like Toad singing that song. He goes like, Thunderstruck! Thunderstruck! And I just kept thinking of Vinny throughout the whole thing, so when Vinny sees the movie, he probably saw it today as well. So I'll probably see his impressions on stream later. But he'll probably talk about that. He probably laughed his fucking ass off at that, because that's just the whole meme of like Toad with Thunderstruck. That was hilarious. But the music is fantastic. All the characters are great and expressive. The animation is incredible. For me, anyway, I've seen, like, this movie has, like, at the moment, 55 on Rotten Tomatoes, but who gives a shit? Because if you personally enjoy the movie, who cares what other people say about the movie? I have the cast, I had the cast up. Here we go. Nope. Mario movie cast. I don't know where it went. I had it up. So, full cast of characters. I'll talk about Luigi first. Charlie Day as Luigi fits so well. He doesn't even really have to change his voice at all to be Luigi. I can just picture Charlie Day as Luigi all the time. It's a perfect voice. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm a Luigi, hello. Like, it's like if Charles Martinet just calmed down his voice and just didn't do that accent and just kind of had that voice as a person itself. That's Charlie Day. Phenomenal casting. I don't know much about Anya Taylor-Joy, but I don't really have anything to say about Peach. My biggest complaint of the movie is that sometimes they make Peach's face look really weird in some scenes. Sometimes she looks fantastic, sometimes she just looked weird and scrunched up. But actually looking at Anya Taylor-Joy's face, it actually kind of looks like her face, kinda, so sure. Now, the elephant in the room, Chris Pratt as Mario here. So Chris Pratt as Mario was a massive, massive meme leading up to this movie. We first found out this information back in, like, late 2021 of this cast. And I like it. I'm surprised that I forgive him. Like, everyone made fun of him for him being the voice of Mario, but it works. It works incredibly well. At least in my opinion. Like, he does, like, the Mario voice impression for a couple bits throughout the movie. He sometimes says Mamma Mia, and he does it in, like, the Mario commercial in the movie. But, like, it's fine. Like, I was just like, if Mario was not going, hello, it's me, Mario, ho-ho, let's go play ball, let's go play some baseball, I'm gonna go make some spaghetti for you, look at me go, it's me, Mario, the entire time, like, if it's that's just, like, just what Chris Pratt does as Mario's voice is completely fine. It's just him being a guy. Which is actually somehow perfect. Like, I had to see it to believe it, to believe it. But he's good. Jack Blauser over here. Look at this guy. I have this back. I've had this back here the whole time. If you haven't seen this, I showed this in a Bickman video, but look at how cool that is. He vapes. It's the Bowser vaping toy. It's really cool. You can stance him. You can twist his tail. He vapes. You stick water in his head, and he, like, lights up and vapes. But Jack Bowser, perfect. Like, Bowser is goofy throughout the entire thing. And then when he, does a serious voice, it's perfect. And, like, that's another thing where you could always just imagine that. You can just imagine Bowser as Jack Black. Like, this is great. I love this. Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. There's not a lot of Toad voice. Like, what you heard from the trailer of Toad's voice really is just the voice for Toad. There's not much else to say about Toad. The Seth Rogen Donkey Kong, he just kind of does his own voice. Like, he comes on screen, he just talks. DK talks fine. He just does the voice. There's one time where Mario gets small, and Seth Rogen does the funny Seth Rogen laugh at Mario. Cranky Kong, Fred Armisen, like this. I don't watch a lot of movies and stuff, so I'm not familiar with all these characters. But that guy, the Cranky Kong voice is like kind of okay. Like, it's not like an old man voice like I would personally give. He's kind of just like a chillax, like what you would think a hip grandpa would sound like is what Cranky Kong sounds like. Foreman Spike, the Foreman Spike voice, I don't have any complaints about that. The Kamek voice, Kevin Michael Richardson, that voice is perfect for Kamek. What you heard from the trailers, that's the voice he does throughout the whole movie. That's perfect. And then the Penguin King guy, he's just a deep voice guy. I don't know if there's any other things here to look at. Charles Martinet, like I said, there's a guy who, in the very start of the movie, looks like a knockoff Mario, and it's Charles Martinet doing the Mario voice. Mario's dad sounds like he's voiced by Charles, so that's his other speaking role, is that Charles Martinet voices Mario's dad. And there's also a Toad in the intro to the movie that sounds like it's also voiced from Charles, but I'm not entirely sure about that. Jessica DiKiko is Mario's mom. No complaints there. Yeah, two of Mario and Luigi's uncles, Uncle Tony and Uncle Arthur. They have minor speaking roles. They're fine. The Luma Lee voice, Juliet Jelinek, is like the Luma that's been trapped so long that he just wishes for death. There's a whole line that was a meme that I saw going around of, like, he just wishes for the sweet release of death. That's something he says in the movie. That's fine. Yeah. That's like the whole movie. I just talked about the whole movie, in a fraction of the time. I've now been recording for 42 minutes. So yeah, that's the Super Mario Brothers movie. And I don't hate it. I highly, highly recommend going out and watching the movie. If you're at an AMC theater, you can get one of these tins to hold your popcorn in. I got some popcorn and some lemonade and stacked on this the whole time. So, movie was good. Got this. This was like extra $15 if you want one of these, if you're going to an AMC theater. I saw it in a Dolby surround sound. So like the sound of the movie was great, and that's what I'm saying. Like the music of the movie in Dolby surround sound was just phenomenal. It's something you're gonna have to see for yourself to believe of how good it is. I think that the contrast between the Mario movie and the Sonic movie is very funny. And as much as I loved Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, the Super Mario Brothers movie just tops both of those instantly. It's just so good. I don't really know what else there is to say other than that it's so good and that you should go watch the movie for yourself. As long as it's in theaters, go watch it. I don't know when it'll eventually come on streaming services later. If you want to wait till then to watch it, wait till Blu-ray, DVD, whatever you want to do to watch the Super Mario Brothers movie. 100% recommendation for me. I absolutely loved it. My only complaints, again, with it is that Peach's face looks weird in some scenes. The pacing kind of goes a little bit too quickly in some scenes. But other than that, it's fantastic. The one thing I also want out of this is that we're probably going to get that sequel from what was in the post-credit scene, and I would absolutely love to see a sequel. I want to see just a regular animated series again, like how we have, like, I have them in here. Like, where is it? I have a whole bunch of stuff in here. Move this out of the way. Here's the entirety. This is volume 2. Where's volume 1? Is volume 1 here? I have so many things in this drawer. Oh, here's the entire box set to the Zelda cartoon. Volume 1 is in here somewhere. But that's besides the point. I have both Volume 1 and Volume 2 of the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. I've watched every single episode of the Mario Bros. Super Show at least 20 times. I never really fully watched the Mario World show, but I think I also have the Mario 3 show in here. I have a couple other these. Yeah, right here. I have the complete set of... it's not every episode of The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, I don't think, but it's got the Mario 3 complete series. I've watched every episode of Mario 3 a handful of times. I would love to see a completely brand new animated Mario series. It would probably, you know, be on some sort of streaming service like Netflix or whatever. But I would love to see another... Just putting everything away. I would love to see a full new Mario Bros. Cartoon in the style of the Mario movie with the same cast, and just have it be just a series. It could be, you know, episode of whatever, just like Bowser does a thing like the Mario Bros. Super Show was, or it could be something completely different. I want to see a full brand new Mario animated series somewhere with this cast, because it is fantastic. I don't know how much more I can ramble other than watch the movie for yourself. It is very good. And that is all I have to say. I will post this, and I will, you know, still talk about the Mario Bros. Movie on my streams. This was not streamed, I recorded this, but if you're new to the channel, hello. I'm a variety content creator. I play a bunch of different things. Sometime later this year, I plan on playing through Mario 3D World. I haven't played through that game in, like, a decade or whatever. So I'll be playing that. I'll be playing Bowser's Fury for the very first time soon. And then in other news, Tears of the Kingdom comes out next month. I'll be streaming that and playing it. It'll be uploaded to the channel. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Pokéball35, where I'm live almost every single day. Link in the description. If you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so. I do have a lot to offer. One quick side note. I made a Jack Blauser meme back when the voice cast was first announced. And I got like 250 views over its entire lifetime, like a year and a half ago. This morning, I uploaded that same clip as a YouTube short just to see how it would do. It's now sitting at 544 views. And I've gained like 10 subscribers today from that short. That's not even a joke. YouTube shorts are at a whole nother level. Well, if you're watching this after watching that short, I also hope you check out everything else I have on my channel, because I have so much to offer. Mario stuff. Super Paper Mario is one of my favorite games of all time. I have a 100% playthrough of that. Check out everything else I have. I do a lot of Pikmin, Pokemon, everything else in between. Go check it out. I'm done rambling. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in whatever comes next.